Hey guys, so I'm guessing you've clicked on this video because you're thinking about getting or have already just gotten the IGM PS33 spiral portable thickness planer. In this video, I'm going to take you through the unboxing and the initial setting up and go through some of the features. So to start with, I'm going to go through some of the specifications. It's a 230 volt machine with an output of 1.8 kilowatts. The cutter head speed is 9,000 RPM. The cutter head diameter is 46 millimeters, and the number of blades on the cutter head are 36. These are carbide blades. You get an additional 5 carbide blades as spurs. The feed speed is 7.9 meters per minute, and the maximum depth of cut is 3.2 millimeters. The maximum workpiece width is 330 millimeters and the maximum workpiece thickness is 156 millimeters. These are quite good in my opinion. My old thickness planer from DeWalt was 310 millimeters maximum width, so I'm gaining an extra 20 millimeters. Here you can see I'm starting to remove the smaller parts, the dust bag and clamp, and the handle to lower or higher the blades. It's also got the dust port extruder attachment, which I have to use an adapter for, but I'll show that later. First of all, I'm going to attach the handle. It's simply attached by a grub screw, which I loosen and remove, add the handle, and then reattach the grub screw. Okay, so now a closer look at the machine. As we come in, you can see that one turn of the handle equates to 1.6 millimeter difference whether you higher or lower it. Here's the warning signs. One in particular that I find interesting is the bottom left. No operating the machine under the influence of alcohol and drugs. Interesting. Other than that, we have the usual warning signs: ear protection, respirator, overalls, don't wear gloves when operating, and also unplug the machine when servicing, amongst others. Okay, so now for a look at the front of the machine. We have the standard on-off switch, the reset, the logo. We have a recommendation on the depth of cut considering the width of the material stock going through, along with a rule both in metric and imperial. Here we have a depth stop in set increments, each with a positive stop. You can see how it's implemented on the inside. Here we have the locking mechanism. I'm about to attach the handle, and like the height adjuster, it's a simple case of removing the grub screw, attaching the handle, and reaffixing the grub screw. I'm using a number 4 hex drive for both the locking mechanism and the height adjuster. So far, assembly has been pretty straightforward. And while not much is going on, can I take the opportunity to ask you guys, if you've liked the video so far, please consider subscribing to my channel as it helps out a great deal. You can see how the locking mechanism operates from the inside. I'm guessing it's just a bar that applies pressure to a clamp, locking the cutter head into place. Well, now to the juicy bit. Well, the juicy bit in my opinion, the cutter head. Although you can't really get a great view on it, we can get glimpses from the top and the bottom. You can also see the two rubber rollers that feed the stock through the machine. Here we have the torque wrench, 5 extra blades and 5 grub screws to attach the blades. These are carbide blades, so they're stronger than your regular HSS steel. Each blade has 4 live edges, and orientation is marked with a tiny dot in the corner. Okay, now time to affix the dust extractor. What I really like about this machine is the exhaust fan. It really propels the waste material out into your dust extraction, whether it's attached to a shop vac or you use the bag that comes included. Here I'll go through how to attach the bag. I personally am not going to use it for a couple of reasons. I have a shop vac, and also when the bag starts getting full it gets heavier, so if you have the unit elevated or mounted onto a table, you need to also support the bag so it's not hanging. It comes with a standard plastic clamp, feels strong enough. The bag has a zip at the end, I guess to empty it, and the nozzle is elasticated so it's a snug fit on the adapter. I have a 100mm extraction hose, so I've had to fit an adapter. So here I'm demonstrating the power of the exhaust fan. It's pretty strong, you can see it blowing this paper. Okay, so now I'm just going to adjust the beds, the infeed and outfeed tables. It was pretty straightforward. Like every other planer out there, it's just using grub screws with an extra nut to secure the height position. There is a gap in the beds, which is a little bit annoying because they need sort of flattening out and making level because they're not perfectly lined up. Other than that, I haven't really got many complaints. I have to say the gaps did throw me off to begin with, but it was soon sorted out and running smoothly. Okay, so now that all the setting up and adjustments are done, time to take it for a spin. I'm just using a bit of maple to run it through. So I'm just setting the height. A lovely silky smooth finish. What I really like about this machine is the gauge to tell you how much you're taking off. Whereas my old planer used a strip of metal, which when you put the stock in and measured, you couldn't retract the stock. But with this, it uses a ball bearing. And when you get the adjustment, you can pull the stock back out. For me, that's a great deal. I would always have to fight with my planer to pull the stock out if I wanted to remove it, or just hire it, but then I'd lose the measurement. So here I'm just going to calibrate the rule on the side. It's just under 2.5 centimeters. The stock is just shy of 2.7 centimeters. Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty happy with that. So in conclusion, I'm pretty happy with the machine. My choice to go with the spiral cutter head is basically, I think it offers a smoother finish. The chips are smaller, and working with resin, if you do, you know the waste produced clogs up a lot of ports. So with this, the chips are smaller. It's not as noisy as straight edge blades, but that doesn't really take into account as you should be wearing ear protection. And I think the longevity of the blades is a lot longer than straight edge. And if you do chip a blade, you just have to replace the single blade rather than replacing a larger one and having to align it. Here you'll just notice some rubber studs which are there to rest the beds on so they don't scratch or lay on the surface of the machine. Here are just the feed guards. And that pretty much summarizes the video. I hope you enjoyed it and most of all found it useful. Let me know if you decide to purchase one or if you already have it, or if you don't, let me know what your alternative is. The deciding factors for me choosing this machine was that it had a small footprint and it had a spiral cutter head. If you'd like to see my video on the spiral head jointer I have with a similar small footprint, just click the link in the video. Once again, I hope you found this video useful and hope to catch you in the next one. Take it easy. Happy woodworking.